My name is Barai Mahloele, and I am currently the Venture Capital Fund Director at Tiger Brands. What you'll learn with me today is all about the value proposition for your business.
What do we mean when we talk about value proposition?
When we talk about a value proposition, it's essentially the product or service that your business is offering to customers for which they're willing to pay. So in determining that, it's what problem do consumers or customers have, and what solution is your product or service bringing to the table?
How do I describe the problem I'm solving to an investor?
So when you are describing the problem that you're solving to investors, what they're trying to understand is, do you fully understand what your value proposition is? And when you're crystallizing it, when you're reflecting on it, it really does boil down to the problem that you're solving for customers. So do you understand your pain points? Have you validated that your solution is actually solving the problems or the pain points that your customers have? So if you boil down or you articulate your value proposition very clearly, concisely, unambiguous, that's what an investor is looking to see.
What do you mean when you say validate your solution?
So in validating your solution, you find that a lot of entrepreneurs are so focused on the product and perfecting the product that they're not going back to whoever their end user is, their end customer is, and actually finding out, is the product or service that I have developed, is it actually solving the problem? Is it helping you with your pain point? And so validation is really about going back to the customer, getting their feedback, and reiterating to make sure that your solution really is fit for purpose.
Why is it important to show that you've collected feedback from customers?
It shows that you really are focused on solving the problem. So you're putting the customer first and not getting too caught up in, I want the perfect product, and the product is not being pushed down to consumers. And the importance of that for investors is, because investors are looking for a return, they want to make sure that there is a market for your product. And the only way that you can find that out is actually going to the market and finding out whether that is something for which they're willing to pay.
What kind of feedback data do I need to have ready for an investor?
I think that the most important thing is not about presenting the data to investors, but it's about, what does that data tell you? So having gone back to your customer, having validated as part of your validation process, what is it that that data is telling you? So it's really about the insights from the data, as opposed to just presenting the data to investors, because then that shows that you've actually gone back, you've thought about it. And as a result of the feedback from customers, this is how I'm changing my sales strategy. This is how I'm changing my marketing strategy. This is how we are moving forward as a business, as a company, because we've received that feedback. So I really think it's about the insight. What is it telling you, as opposed to just data points on a spreadsheet?
In my pitch, what are the key metrics I need to support my value proposition?
So in terms of the key metrics as part of your value proposition, you need to understand the problem that you're trying to solve. So what is your solution bringing to the table, and how is it alleviating the pain point for your customers? You need to understand what your unique selling proposition is. You need to understand what your sales strategy is going to be to achieve the goals that you've set for your business. You need to understand your marketing strategy. You need to understand how you are going to get to your customers. So those are some of the metrics that I think are quite important in crystallizing your value proposition.
What is a unique selling proposition?
So a unique selling proposition, sometimes called a USP, really is about, how do you differentiate your product or your service from your competitors? So what is it particularly about your business that stands out and makes you different, for which customers must rather choose you rather than your competitors?
How does a sales strategy support my value proposition?
So a sales strategy is quite important, because it really is about, how are you going to then now grow your business? How are you going to get to your customers? So it's about route to market. How do you get to the eventual selling point to your customers? It's about having your USP. It's about having a target market. So who is the customer that you're trying to target that is looking for your product? So being very crystal clear about that. What are the skills and capabilities that you have within your sales team to get that job done? And also it's about the management of it. So how are we actually going to sell?
Can I bring purpose into value proposition?
You can actually, because your value proposition is about a pain point that you're trying to solve. But in solving that pain point, you can bring your purpose in the way you are executing your value proposition. So you definitely can bring in your purpose to your value proposition.
Is there anything burning you think we should know about value proposition?
The most important thing is about being clear and concise. What you want to do is to make sure that you don't leave any room for ambiguity and that things don't get lost in translation. So the clearer, the more concise your value proposition is, the easier it is for investors to understand and the more likely you are to succeed, because everyone, whether it's investors or whether it's the people within your business, are all very clear about what you're trying to achieve and how we're going to get there.